Good morning, guys. I figured I'd come out here today and I would talk to you guys about all of my Gerber knives. Everything that I own that is Gerber. Uh, there's a lot of people out there that don't think real highly of Gerber, but they're all right. They are what they are. You know, some of them might be a little overpriced now, but back in the day, whenever I bought some of this stuff, it wasn't that expensive. You know, it wasn't that bad. But anyway, I just figured I'd show you a bunch of everything that I have that's Gerber. And we'll start here. I've had this one forever. It's the Gerber pear frame. Has serrated edges on it. But I've had this thing forever. I beat the hell out of this thing. You know, it's taken everything I've ever threw at it. Sure, the edge retention ain't very good, but it's not too hard to resharpen as long as you know a little bit about sharpening a knife. So they're not bad. You know, you can buy these cheap now. But this is the one that I have had the longest, and I carried this thing along with a Case Stockman pocket knife. So I had the Case for doing the real sharp precision work, and I had this just to beat on basically. And man, it held up well. I carried this thing for quite a few years, and I don't have nothing bad to say about it at all. And then about the time I was started carrying something different, my boss for Christmas one year, he bought the whole crew another one. So this one doesn't have the serrated edge. So I've had this one and it's just stayed in the gun case and it hasn't done anything at all. But yeah, I'm sure it's probably just as good as my old one here. And then I bought the Gerber Slim Sada whenever it come out. This is the Slim Sada. It's D2 steel. It is a very, very nice pocket knife. It's easy to flip. It's easy to flip out with your finger. It's got some red accents in the back of it. It lines up nice and good whenever it's closed. It's got a tip-up carry, nice pocket clip with red accents in the back. But yeah, this is a really nice pocket knife. It's very thin. Has micarta handle scales. They're kind of a different feel for micarta, but they are micarta. But I think it's got bearings inside the mechanism there. But yeah, it's a pretty good knife. I haven't used it a lot, but I don't see anything wrong with this thing at all. It was about, I don't know, $60 I think whenever I purchased it. But yeah, it's not a bad knife at all. And then I bought all three of these at Sam's Club. I'm sure you saw a couple of my shorts maybe on it. But so I have another pear frame, and haven't done anything with it except for lubed it up a little bit and adjusted the tension on it. And then have the Gerber Zilch, and it's tip-up carry. I've seen a few reviews online of this knife. It's all right. My son actually bought one of these, and I can't remember if he bought the red one. They have a red and a brown and the black, maybe another color by now. I can't remember. But anyway, his screws right here on the pocket clip, they stripped out, so his pocket clip stays nice and loose. So that's handy. But at least these are cheap. Whenever these came out, they were like $20. I think now they're like $22 maybe. I don't know, somewhere around there. But yeah, these are good slicey knives. They have a full flat grind and a nice piercing tip. They're a pretty good knife. I mean, the plastic on them feels, you know, good enough. Whenever it's closed, it's lined up good. But yeah, they're pretty good. And then in that same set, I got the Evo Junior. Now that's a tip down carry pocket knife. It has the thumb studs, and it's a flipper. So I use it in the, I tend to just flip it with the flipper. But handy little pocket knife. I actually kind of like this one too. I thought whenever I got these, I thought, man, I don't know about that thing, but I think it's good for what it is. It's not bad. It's growing on me. The flipper mechanism on it's pretty smooth. It's not bad. Not bad at all. It's just kind of growing on me. Just handy little pocket knife. But anyway, okay. Then I have my fixed blade set, and we've got the Gerber LMF2, I believe is what they call it. Yeah, LMF2. These are like tactical knives, you know. You can run them on your belt, horizontal. It's got the MOLLE buttons and stuff here, so you can attach it to a pack. This one, if you take this apart, this in here, you can actually, let's see, let me pull this thing out. You can actually unvelcro this, and how does this work? You gotta remember how it works. Yes, unvelcro it, pull it out like that. Gotta kind of fold everything up. But there you can see, you can run your knife blade through that, and that's how you sharpen it. It has its own sharpener on it. So that's kind of cool. Kind of a pain in the butt design, but it's something cool. It's got a sharpener on it. This thing also came with some leg straps. I think it came with 2 leg straps you can put on it. So whenever you're carrying it on your side, you can also have it strapped to your leg. So it's all nice and tight, and what do they call that? Tactical. But yeah, it's not a bad knife. It's a nice heavy duty knife, that's for sure. I've even saw some YouTube videos where guys we use this thing for hunting, but it seems like a little overkill to me for hunting. But it's got the big glass breaker on the back. Now, if you watched any actual videos on this much at all, this is not full tang. It's a stick tang, and it stops right here. And then this part is separate from the blade. These were originally made for, I think, airline pilots, aircraft pilots in the military, so they could bust through windows or whatever, be able to tear through whatever they wanted to tear through. And if they got into some electrical wires with the blade, even if they're touching this back here, it can't shock them, you know. So it's an electric, like a shock proof knife, you know. As long as you're back here, not up on the blade, and you're cutting live wires, it should not shock you, because the way this is rat-tailed in, and then the blade's kind of rat-tailed in, and they don't touch, you know. They're about that far apart in the middle. You can watch YouTube videos on these where guys have actually torn them apart, and then you can actually see what they look like on the inside. These things are pretty expensive for what they are. Sure, you get a pretty cool sheath with it, get some leg straps, but man, I think they're pretty dang expensive for what they are. I'm not much on the serrated edge on it. Just ain't much on that. And it's kind of heavy and kind of awkward. That big head on the back, the big glass breaker, I don't know. It just is what it is. It's part of the collection, so it's not going anywhere. But good retention. It does have dual snaps. I just have the top one snapped back out of the way. But yeah, it's a good heavy duty knife, don't get me wrong. Then we have the legend, the Gerber Strong Arm. There ain't been anybody on YouTube that ain't had one of these. But they're a good knife, you know. They got good traction on them. Easy to get out of the sheath. They just pop in and out. I actually got this one as a present from a good friend of mine. I got this one as a present back whenever you could pick these up for maybe $40. So the price tag they're wanting for these now is like 90 bucks or something. That's outrageous for what you're getting. That is just crazy. I don't think I would want to pay that for what you're getting. So I'm glad I got mine whenever they were priced more along the lines of what they're worth. But they, don't get me wrong, they are a good knife. You can watch other YouTube videos on this strong arm. They are solid knives. They're full tang, got a glass breaker on the back, good traction on the grip. You know, some people says it's too much traction. Some people says it hurts their hands, but I think they just need to quit being pansies. Either way, or get them a pair of what I call bitch mittens. Bitch mittens. Because if you're going to whine and cry that a knife handle hurts your hand, well, quit being a bitch. Anyway, shouldn't say that. All right, guys. That is Gerber Strong Arm. Everybody knows about that. This one is my Gerber Prodigy. Came from Walmart. Set up a lot the same as the LMF2. It's basically a smaller model of the LMF2. You can run it on your belt horizontal. It's got all the same MOLLE webbing. You can put it to strap it to a pack. It's got another strap here that'll, you know, you can dual strap it just like this one. But it does not have the sharpener on it, and these are not nowhere near as expensive as those. These are like 40 bucks maybe, I don't know, 60, somewhere in there. Hell, I can't remember. But if you have big hands, I wear a large size glove, and this thing just fits my hand. It just fits. I wouldn't want it any smaller. I mean, it fits my hand like a glove whenever I do a regular grip, even a reverse grip. I mean, it just fits my hand. So if you was to have bigger hands than me, if you have XL, if you wear an XL size glove, this is probably going to be a little short handled for you. But this blade and everything about this blade is exactly the same as this. So the price difference you're paying between this and this, I think if your hand will fit this, you're just supposed to buy a Prodigy than over a Strong Arm, because it's the same blade steel. It's the same blade. There's nothing different. So the only thing that's different is you know, your texture here is a little smoother for the guys that, you know, don't like their hands to hurt, pansies. And like I said, the handles being a little shorter. So XL gloves, XL hands, maybe not. But this one is more ergonomic for the way you can hold the knife, you know, in different positions. But I haven't had any problems at all with my Prodigy. I think it's a great knife for the price you pay for it. I think it's the best bang for your buck out of all three of these. I think this is the way to go myself. Then we have, I don't remember what this is. I haven't looked it up still. This is part of a kit. It comes with this knife and a smaller knife. It's like a hunting kit, boning kit, you know, for field dressing deer and stuff like that, wild game. But you can buy this in an actual kit where all three looks just alike. It comes with a saw, little T-handle saw, this knife, and then a smaller knife. And if you watch my other video on neck knives, this thing is a great knife. I don't know what steel it's made out of. I really can't remember. But it's a great knife, but the more you pull it in and out of this sheath, it just keeps getting duller and duller and duller. So this sheath is the downfall to the knife. But it's a nice, thin, very lightweight knife. That's why I use it as a neck knife. Now, the way the sheath is made, you can also run it on your belt, you know. But I just run it as a neck knife like that. But, yeah, it's an okay knife. It's all right. All right, now we'll get into the two multi-tools that I've got. This is the Suspension NXT from Gerber. It's got a pocket clip. It's got spring-loaded pliers, Leatherman. Yeah, more spring-loaded pliers options would be great from Leatherman, because that right there is so handy to have spring-loaded pliers. But it's got a little plastic lanyard hole. I don't know what the heck that's all about. Yeah, that seems like something to just break off if you actually put a lanyard on it. But everything opens from the outside, and it's got these little tabs you pull down on each side in order to close the tools, so they all lock. But you got a pretty good screwdriver on it. You got a reaming awl, sorta, I guess is what you could call that. And then you have a flathead screwdriver tip with a little bit of file on it, and a little tape measure on the other side. But yeah, that's what you got on that side. And on this side, you've got Gerber. Jesus, get away from the serrated edges. You got a serrated edge blade that's, you know, half and half. And then you've got another flathead screwdriver. You've got bottle opener, can opener with a little bitty screwdriver on the tip here, little bitty flathead. Then we got our scissors. Then we have the scissors. Those scissors are actually very good. The way you can hold them and kind of get to them, they're not bad. They're decent scissors. They look kind of fat and large for what they are, but they're really good scissors. I do like the scissors on this tool. But yeah, there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons to this tool. Pocket clip on it, very weak, very weak. If you catch that on anything, you're bending it, but at least you can bend it back. My father-in-law has one of these that he found in a junkyard, and he brought it to me, and I sharpened it up. Of course, Gerber steel on these is super, you know, it's a soft steel, so it's real easy to sharpen. So I was able to get that little bitty blade hair popping sharp for him. The pocket clip was all bent, and I was able to straighten it out. You know, I was talking the other day about the Leatherman pocket clips, like the one that's on, well, it's on this one right here. It's on my Wave Plus. You're not going to bend that. It's either straight or broken. There's no in between. It's either straight or broken. This one, on my father-in-law's, it was all bent, and I was able to straighten it out really good. So I think he's going to use his for fishing, I believe, throw it in a tackle box. And for 30 bucks, how can you go wrong for, you know, 30 bucks for a multi-tool? It's not, it's, you know, pretty decent quality. It's got a little bit of wiggle back and forth that Leathermans don't have. So it is what it is. But then I have the Gerber dime. I bought this because I thought it was cool. That's all there is to it. I just kind of thought it was a cool little tool, and they're pretty cheap, 25 bucks, 20 bucks, I don't remember. But they are also spring-loaded pliers. Got your little cutters in there. Pretty precise little pliers, actually. You can grab some little bitty stuff with these. They're kind of handy that way. But then you have, let's see what we got. Your little bitty pocket knife blade. It came, you know, almost butter knife dull. I had to work on that. You got your little package opener. Those are handy. I like package openers on a multi-tool. They are just handy as they can be, and they work good. And if you're opening them clamshell packages and you slip, you're not gonna slice your arm completely off with it. You know, they're too little to hurt you too bad. And a pair of scissors. These scissors are nice too. Those are nice little scissors. They're pretty darn good. They cut just as good as most of my Leatherman scissors, actually. Better than maybe a couple of them. Then you have this little bitty precise flathead screwdriver with a little bitty file on it. What you're going to be filing on something that is that small, you tell me. I have no idea. It's little. And you have just a little bitty, another small flathead. And this one actually, yes, the way this one's made, you can actually use it for a Phillips head too. You can get a Phillips, you know, you can make a Phillips work with that too. And then I just put the extra key ring on there, no big deal. And then you got your bottle opener here, popping the tops on the old beers. And then you also get in here, in the handle, a little pair of tweezers. A little bitty pair of tweezers. These would be great for something to carry, like, something to just throw in your vehicle, maybe throw in a tackle box if you're doing some light fishing that day, you know, or maybe a woman throw it in her purse, you know, just something a little extra to have. So they're pretty handy. They're not too expensive, and they seem to be made quite well, really, for, you know, being as small as what they are. But they fold up nice and tight. They come in different colors. I just opted for the red. But yeah, they're pretty nice too for what they are. Gerber as a whole is a company that's been around a long time, and they build pretty good products. I don't knock Gerber at all, really. The only thing is like this knife, it's overpriced. It's more overbuilt than what most people need, really, and it's just, I don't know. It's overpriced for what it is, my opinion. This one is great. The strong arm, it's great, but it's overpriced now. I mean, for the quality of steel you're getting in this, it's overpriced. I would never buy one at the prices they're at right now. I would just go buy a Prodigy. As long as it fits my hand, I would just rather have a Prodigy. So, anyway, that's everything I have that's Gerber. It's everything I own that is Gerber. I mean, I got a few things here, but some repeats of a few things. But anyway, that's what I got. All right, guys. I just thought I was done. I went and got this out of my side-by-side. This is my Gerber Gator Junior. I have had this thing forever, and it has held up. I know you can watch some videos on the original Gerber Gator that's longer, and man, that thing, everybody breaks it. I just think it's too weak a steel for something that long. So whenever you chop, you end up breaking breaking chips out of the blade and stuff. But this one, with it being a little shorter, I think that helps it whenever you go to swing and hit something. Like, I mean, I've bounced this thing off rocks and everything else, and all I've done is ever put little nicks in the blade. And whenever that happens, if I'm out on my side-by-side, because that's where this thing stays, is on my side-by-side, I keep a 8-inch mill bastard file in my glove box of the side-by-side, and I'll just wedge this thing in between the bed rails of my side-by-side. Just kind of wedge it in there, and I'll just sharpen those nicks right out of it, and then I can go right back to work with it. So these are cheap too. So don't judge this one, the Gerber Gator Junior, off from everything you see on the standard Gator that's longer. This one is tough. I mean, it is tough. I've beat it through everything you can imagine. I've cleared fence lines with this thing. I've built side-by-side trails with it. You know, anytime there's something in the way of my side-by-side that I want to get out of the way, you know, if I can do it with this without having to go back to the shop and grab a chainsaw, I'll just do it with this. And it's taken everything I've thrown at it. Now, every once in a while, the blade inside the handle will get a little loose, but it takes Allen screws, so you can just tighten it back down. You know, no big deal. But yeah, this is probably the most used and the toughest thing that I have saw from Gerber that I use on almost every day on the farm. It is super tough. So anyway, I had to come back to talk about that. I missed one of my Gerber products whenever I made my lineup. But anyway, that's it. That now is everything that I have that is Gerber. So I want to invite you guys to like my videos and share, subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. And I post things quite often, a lot of shorts and a few videos, and it's just a fun thing for me to do. So anyway, all help's appreciated. So anyway, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys.